see something that doesn't make sense to me. And so here it says, imagine you're watching a baseball game played by 5-year-olds. And notice there's always one kid that'll lay down in the outfield and watch the clouds or pick dandelions, make a daisy chain out of them. Be that kid. It's okay to take your eye off this ball. Engage in not engaging. Engage up, not out. And so I'm a little bit of a touchstone for a lot of people, and I've had multiple phone calls this week. Oh my God, the sky is falling. Dee, what am I supposed to do? Keep your vibration high, eat healthy, practice safe peopling, and just be that kid in the outfield. And I'm so thankful that Spirit gave me that, because I think every single person I talk to gets it, and it lightens the mood when I use that analogy. And so I've kept my vibration high. I've been eating very healthy. I've been practicing safe peopling, but today I just feel like my plug has been pulled. So that's my check-in, and it's good to see you guys. I yield my time, Madam Chairwoman.
Yes, you've given up 2 minutes. Well, sometimes people have more to share, so that's a gift.
I want to go next.
Okay.
I had a dream a few days ago where I was looking down, and I was looking my hands playing with dirt. And at some point I holded some dirt in my hands, and there were other hands dropping a seed in the dirt I had in my hands. And I saw a plant growing from that seed. And then I woke up immediately, feeling so happy with a message that came to my heart was, we have been planting seeds for many lifetimes. And now is the time for those seeds to bloom and give and grow in trees, in strong trees, and give fruits to the earth. And in this week that there's a massive wave of fear and confusion, I think what I have been envisioning, or my prayer has been, that in the middle of the fear and confusion, we all start asking ourselves the right questions, and that our hearts, minds, and spirits are ready to hear the truth and the answers that have been there for us. So that's what I had to share. Thank you.
Well, I'll go. So I guess for me, it's interesting because I almost feel like every day is this new energy and this, or maybe it's almost hour by hour lately. Things are shifting so fast, and it's almost like I'm living more minute to minute than I think I ever have in my life. But like you, Deanna, I'm kind of detached from the chaos a bit. You know, I'm aware of what's going on, but I feel like I'm much more living in kind of my own connection and bubble and calm and peace and compassion. And that's been my prayer, to just kind of stay there and keep holding that and go back to it and go back to it. And as of yesterday, where I am in Santa Cruz, we are mandated with this shelter in place, so everything stopped. Life just kind of stopped in a lot of ways. And I woke up yesterday morning and I thought, it feels like Christmas to me because I'm so sensitive to the collective, and it was quiet. It was totally like everyone just went quiet. Even the mind, the mind chatter had kind of stopped. And at least in the way I felt it in the Bay Area where nothing stops, right, Jan? Like it just doesn't stop. And so I realized yesterday, oh my God, for really sensitive people, there's a big gift in this because there's such a pause. And so I'm in the space of feeling that this is an extraordinary opportunity, along with the crisis going on, to bring in, like what you were talking about with the seeds, like I almost feel like this is the time to drop in the seeds because everyone stopped. And so I feel there's almost more fertile ground and soil than there's ever been. And an asking, I feel an openness now to new ways of seeing this, of understanding life, of understanding how this can happen, big picture. So anyway, my sense is that I'm just beginning to maybe see this much of the much bigger picture of what's unfolding now, but I feel it as a huge invitation. And I'm just really grateful because I live for this kind of quiet in the collective. I mean, I live for it. I travel to Hawaii to get little like bits of this kind of solitude and quiet. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now in the moment. Thank you.
I'll go next because what I have to say echoes what Lisa says. And the meditation that I did earlier today was that we are composting and we are refurbishing the soil to grow a new garden within ourselves and around the world. It's like a perfect storm. We knew was coming. And I always said that people need to have a disturbance that comes up to their front door before they change. They have to have their routine, their comfort zone, me, to begin to imagine the we. And I've watched my kids, my neighbors, all begin to understand that their energy field doesn't end here with their desires and their behaviors, that it connects with their neighbors, with their family, with the whole globe. So I think this is a huge reckoning. It awakens within me the idea that the divine plan is cracking open and releasing, and we are seeing what isn't working. And the other word that came up for me when I was meditating last night was tribunal. And it's not that we're saying you're bad, you did this. It's like looking and coming to terms first with ourselves of how we've been part of the problem and forgiving myself. I've been going deep into reflection of how have I been behaving and how have I been relating in egotistical, selfish ways. And so this time for reflection and stopping is very important. And when it first came, we have 2 houses on the water here, a forest, and everything you can imagine. And I told Rick my wish came true. He said, "What is it?" And I said that I could leave here. I said, I feel that I'm now hovering between heaven and earth. I actually can create every moment, like you said, Lisa, every moment. I can be looking at the water, we can get oysters and eat, or we can turn on the TV and be part of the fear. Every single moment I am designing with choice. So I'm feeling that responsibility, and I'm feeling the excitement of it, and also the responsibility of it. And then I work very hard to figure out the overview of the intentionality, who caused this, blah, 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 blah. But then I go back to celebrating that it's shattering. Our way of living is now different from this moving forward. And that's why I called this council. I said, I know us coming together, frothing up some higher vibration is the most important thing we can do. So that's my share.
I too would like to echo that and what you said, Lisa. I am in Houston because my mother has been in ICU since February 10th, and on Monday they took her out of ICU. She's still in the hospital but improving, and so it's been for me this very surreal moment of having my mother at this edge of life and death while we're coming into this. And I always say that when you're in that space, it becomes absolutely crystal clear what's real and what's important. And to have this come up now, what like you, I feel like this is very much an opportunity for us to put those seeds in the ground, to support the collective in expanding who we know ourselves to be and into that greater beingness. And like you all, being a very highly sensitive, intuitive empath, I'm exhaling like, oh, it feels so good. It feels so good not to have all of that energy bombarding me all the time, just to have this sense of collective rest. And, you know, I realized yesterday when I was meditating that how we come out of this reset, and that's what it is, it's a global reset. And, you know, there are implications and actually documents, if you dig into the United Nations documents about this, like this is way bigger than what we're being told. And we know that, obviously, yes, just from the political to the governmental, but the social, but also spiritual. And what comes out of this really depends on the seeds that we sow, the seeds that we plant, and how and where we keep our energy. And I am committed. I am committed to holding the highest vibration that I can and supporting us and helping to up level all of us to the space of love. And so, you know, my theme is, especially because I've been in this journey of helping my mother on her heroic end of life journey, that I'm here for the love. And love has to be the key, and it is the message. And we all know that if we can support as many people as possible in centering themselves into this vibration of love, then something truly magnificent and great can come from this. And I actually don't even want to say can, I want to say is coming from this, because I can feel that. I can feel little tendrils of roots going into the earth of newness, of new awareness. And for me, it's about remembering who we truly are. Like we've been externalized so far for so long, right? And we've been kind of caught in the survival and all of that. And so now it's a time to take a collective breath and remember what's really important and what's real. And I believe that this is why we're here. And I thank you, Jan, for calling this circle. And I thank you all for showing up. The last thing I'd like to say is I watched the video from last week and immediately could feel the immense power of the circle and the immense power that you each bring. And so I want to acknowledge you for that, because we know that in this world, it is take work. It takes commitment to own and maintain and be who we are with this immense power. And so I want to say thank you to each of you, and I'm very excited for what we can do together. Thank you.
There's so many amazing leaders here. One last chance for someone to drop us into the meditation. Okay. Here we go. So we ask and intend to set a sacred space. We recognize our own sovereign energy field. Only energies of the highest light. I'll go ahead and mute everyone at this point. Only energies of the highest light may be in our space now. I say our space because we are connected deeply through our intentionality, and our infinite selves are placing ourselves in this council circle now. We are stepping forward and we are connecting powerfully with each other's energy field. We are in awe and appreciation for the presence of each of us in this circle. We are now opening this circle as a center, as you would in a 4 directions activity. We're opening the circle of the center, a perfect circle. We are asking and intending that a beautiful, magnificent, precise, vibrational stream of light come forth from source to come and pour into the hub of our circle, into the chalice of our alchemical container that we have created. We imagine and see and know that this energy is now pouring forth, and it is filling this beautiful chalice container, of which each of us is holding with outstretched arms. As this vibration comes into the chalice, it comes into each of our hearts, and a new energy is forged and emitted and activating our inner circuitry as transitional beings for enlightening the planet now. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and know that you were born for this. Let yourself hold, merge with this light, and let it move through your body effortlessly and safely. Let the vibrations of every cell, every atomic movement, the nucleus, be empowered with grace as it purifies and heals the morphic field, moving out into the environment. It is a smooth sheet of light now emitted from this circle, and it is lighting up other awakening consciousnesses on the planet. It is also naturally moving into the 0 points, the satellite systems, the lattice-like geometric systems in place to receive this light. The entire planet is held within this lace-like awakening, pulsing light now. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And notice that you are operating as a divine switchboard with your sisters here as agreed upon, and now in real time being activated. We understand and know and allow that the new galactic connections and interconnectivity with other life forms, intelligent consciousnesses is now created further connectivity and communication for benevolent outcomes for the new earth and all of her people. All of these written decrees and agendas for the divine plans birthing through us in this holy moment now. Just allow it to flow through your body. As we enter into our deep meditation. So let's very gently come back and pull our energy fields back in towards our own body. Make any slight adjustments. Come back into this space, this consciousness, this circle. Having been surrogates for birthing new energies for the planet, you all survived the birthing room. I'll go ahead and share first and let you all just state a little bit here. When I said before, we were born to do this, that's funny, that's a Joan of Arc statement. But we were born to do this, and I kept having these hints through the years that at a certain time, certain key women would come together as points of light, forming a chalice. That's the Holy Grail. What we just did was establishing the Christed consciousness back on earth, the Holy Grail. And it was so clear that this multifaceted light we were sending out that's the Holy Grail right there. Then towards the end of the meditation, I was looking at the clock, the voice said, and tell them, help is on the way. In other words, since we have to ask. Remember, Lisa, 11, 11, 11, we were in France, and I saw the different veils. As humans can stand it, we go ahead and unzip one veil at a time, more angels come, more helpers. The next level we go to, we can actually see them, and we have to ask for help. And I saw this beautiful ship hovering full of pure gold light, and it said, thank God you asked us, help is on the way. And it started beaming down streams of light for any human, of course, with eyes to see and ears to hear. So that was very confirming. Right time, right place, doing the right thing. Thank you.
Felt like
Well,
that to me as, oh, go ahead, Diana.
That's okay. Go right ahead, Miriam.
I had the same vision or feeling of help is on the way. It's like we are all arriving, like our great divinity is arriving at the perfect time to the reinstallment of heaven on earth. Thank you, everyone.
We made a 5-pointed star, actually, and that's the divine feminine star over Rennes-le-Chateau, the 5. That's very significant.
I'll go next. Last week when we all connected, the background behind what I was seeing was very, very dark. It was like almost black, but it was a deep purple. And then I saw us forming as the lights, and we became the 0 points as that bar of balance came down to our hearts. Today it was much different. We didn't start out in the dark. We were, and I was confused by it because I didn't get the same visual. What I got was as we ascend, as we elevate the vibration, it will almost be impossible to feel where our light ends and someone else's light begins. And so, and then Spirit gave me another silly little visualization. When I had the flower shop, I had 4 or 5 cases of canning jars in the back of my van. And we were heading up Highway 20. And all of a sudden we started hearing pop, pop, pop. And my husband and I started laughing because we realized it was those little jars as we ascended in elevation. They're pop, 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 almost like popcorn. And so that was the visualization that I got today, was that as we plug into this, as we are lighting the grid, I clearly see the grid. It will be almost impossible to differentiate between where my light ends and your light begins and your light begins. We just are becoming lighter light. And then in typical Deanna fashion, at the end of that exercise, I crawled into the chalice and I just allowed it to be all over me. And I floated on my back, and then I thought, you better get out of here. So that was my takeaway from our meditation. It was beautiful.
It might be a good place just to stay in.
Today I'm going to crawl back in it again. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe you just float in it all day.
That was beautiful. I feel very expansive, and my friend's 3 dogs all came towards the end of the meditation right here, which is why you saw me looking down, and including the dog that doesn't like to be touched or be around people. She's right here. I feel very expansive, and I kept hearing reset to love.
You heard what?
Reset to love. Reset.
Yes.
That this is that we have a choice, and what we're being offered is the opportunity as humanity, as the planet, is to reset to love. Yeah. It feels amazing. Thank you.
I love that, Maria. I think that's my new mantra, because that is really just beautiful to put that out there.
Reset to love. I love it.
Yeah. I love the energy of this group. So thank you for including me, Jan. And I felt everyone's being at different times during that meditation, you know, like I could feel us together, and then I could feel one being very clearly, like somewhere merged together with me, and very beautiful. In the beginning, I felt Miriam really strong. I could almost see where you were on the planet, Miriam, and we were like holding a beam together. Like I felt a beam coming down from source, and I could feel and see you, and you were like pulling you down into the rest of America, South America, and it's very beautiful. It was like we were working together. And at one point for me, it went into the galaxy, and there was like an activation that happened, very strong and powerful. Did you feel that, Jan? Like,
Oh, yes.
Like, it went bing, and it was, I felt it all in my heart, and it was like all these new codes started coming out, and to Earth, you know, coming to Earth, and kind of an upgrade.
Yep.
And so that went on for a little while, and then I was very aware of you, Jan, and what you were doing, and you were showing me different stuff in the galaxy. It was very delightful. You were like showing me things, and then you would take me to a specific place, and then you would say, "Watch, Lisa," and then you would do a little sound and different color, you know, and it was very fun. It was like a show. It was like it was like a very delightful show. But a lot was happening when you would go to a specific place in the galaxy. A lot was changing. Very cool. And then what else did I experience? It was very lovely. And then it went towards the end to the universe. You know, I don't know, I felt it get very quiet and still and expanded, like I think you said, Maria. And then I just felt that like floating in the chalice of like the universe, you know, the universal heart of just expanded and reset to love and all is well. And let's just hold that and be that for everyone, you know. And then the bell rang, right? When I felt, so very lovely. Thank you all so much for being here and letting me join you.
We hope that you can come often. So
Thank
this
you.
was our second meeting, and we include energetically Deb and Margaret in our circle today. One more thing I wanted to share before we sign off is appreciation to everyone, and that I had a significant dream. I've been having lots of dreams, but this one I think relates to you. It's like I'm very high up, and I'm afraid of heights, and I'm on a like a jungle gym, very shaky metal structures, and I'm trying to crawl to, well, my grandmother's home, my place of safety, but then I'm way out, and I'm continually having to climb up ladders and get in these teetering places where then there's a break, and they say, well, Jan, jump. But one friend or woman always says, hey, I'll help you. They fix it so I can go across to the next. In other words, we together can make something that seems scary and uncrossable, help each other make that structure. And I think that was a symbol of what we're doing today, coming together where those little parts are puzzle pieces that make us whole and make this chalice really viable and available and work because we're showing up for each other. So I'm going to close this part of the gathering by pressing the recording off, and we'll have just a slight discussion.